Bitcoin and Ethereum, what's the next move? Let's find out in the chart, shall we? Bitcoin has been choppy and sideways for the last few days. We're going to talk about what's going to happen, whether it's going to break upwards or break downwards in the next little while in today's episode. Yes, it's going to be a scary one. Let's hope Bitcoin actually makes the right move and goes north. But yeah, we got some news for you guys, and it's not positive, but you know what? Anything can happen, right? Because this is Bitcoin, right? Anything can happen. You got to be careful out there when you're trading, because it's Bitcoin will do the opposite thing you think it'll do every single time when you're trying to trade. So you got to make sure that you got your stop losses set and everything, that your risk management is set, because man, it's a choppy market, and we saw that shortly after the last episode was over. Man, the market just went ballistic. Went up and then down and then up again and then back down again. It was crazy. Let's talk about that. And if you like this video, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button as well. Also, watch the news rant, because I'm going to be doing a news rant shortly afterwards. It's coming out because I have a few things I want to talk about in the news. Okay, so let's go over to the charts and see what's going on. Well, we could see that, as we talked about it, like you can see in the hourly here, man, this thing just like was brutal. Like, oh my God, you were shorting, oh, you got wiped out. You went long, you got wiped out. you like came back up, right? In that hourly candle here. Let me just zoom in there. There we go. You see that hourly candle, right? It opened here, probably went down first, and you thought you were solid, and then wiped you out if you were shorting. And then if you went long here, or went long at the break here, it just wiped you out. And then it came back up, and then if you went short, right, down here, you're thinking, yeah, it's going out. It just wiped you out. It was horrible chop in the market. Just a brutal situation. So right now, what we need to do is to wait for Bitcoin to break above this level here. Now that we have created a new high of 39,142, to really say that, hey, this thing is breaking upwards and is going higher. Once it breaks above that, and we got at least like a 1 hour close above there, we can say that the target, right, that we're gonna have here is around the top of this range here, which is at the $42,591 level approximately, is where the target is once we break higher, once we know that we're breaking higher. Of course, this is a very bearish situation here. Why is that? Because we have lots of lower highs, lots of them, too many of them. We got M's everywhere to say that this is going to be a positive outcome. So with that said, we have to look for this thing to break to the lower side. I would wait for it to confirm, right, and always be prepared for, you know, a failed move, because a fast move in the opposite direction. Once we break below this level right here, which is the 37,400, I think we can see a continuation down, because we're near the end of this downward ascending triangle. So we can consider that's where we would know that this thing's going to be moving in that general direction. Now, there's no guarantees from management. Please do your own research and make sure that you have your stop losses set. So if you're shorting this, right, on the breakout, right, you would probably break, or if you're shorting this on the breakdown, sorry, not on the breakout. If you're shorting this on the breakdown, maybe you take a 2% loss on this, 2%, and you take a 2-to-1, right, risk to reward ratio, all the way down to 35, which is practically, I think, where we'll see Bitcoin, that's the most likely target for Bitcoin. Yeah, there you see 35.5, right? And we're going to take profits at 35.9. So if you're interested in taking profits and doing this, you can do so by heading over to bybit.davincij15.com, or if you're interested in buying Bitcoin altogether, you can buy it at bybit.davincij15.com. Yeah, so with that said, if you're interested also in, trading using the Rock and Brainer, if you watched the Rock and Brainer's interview yesterday, you'll learn that, you can't just take every signal, right? It's a lot of these signals, right, are false signals and should be ignored, right? A lot of the buy signals should be ignored when we're in the trending downwards, and a lot of the sell signals you should be paying attention to the sell signals in a downward trend. Okay, and we are definitely in a downward trend. So with that said, looking for the buy opportunity. If we were to go long, we want to wait until it's way above our situation here. Maybe take again a 2% loss on this. If we are wrong, should it come back at us, and then a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which gives us lots of headroom, which is the target with the target of 42.5. We can set a target of 40,800, and maybe move our stops to 50%, and then see if we can get some more off of this particular move. Okay. Let's head over to Ethereum now and see what's going on there. We can see Ethereum still in its downward trend. And turn off the Rock and Brainer signals. But once again, you got if you were watching the last show, right, you got to watch out for the signals. If you see a bunch of signals, then right, that's not how you don't trade on every single signal. That's the wrong thing to do, because that's how you're going to get destroyed. That is the wrong thing to do. There is no indicator that will give you 100% wins on every single trade that you make. So make sure you basically find other reasons to make the trade, right? For example, the trend is your friend to the end. That's an example of when you make the trade, right? Okay, make it with the trend. The trend is, you can see on the 4 hour, the trend is down. So you stick with that trend, and you look for the signals that are sell signals. Okay, looking at this, we can see that we are still at the inside this upward trending channel upwards, even though we're on the 4 hour we have a downward trend. If this trend holds, right, and we continue back up here, that would be a great thing for us to see. No guarantees from the management. You can see, let's see here. This thing is creating a triangle down at this time frame right here. Let's see if it's at its apex. Yes, a wedge. Actually, it's a wedge, but yes, you can see we're at an apex here soon. So we're going to see some sort of move, both on Ethereum and Bitcoin, in an upwards or downwards direction. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Bands, see if they're tightening up a little bit, not so much. We can probably see this. Unfortunately, I'm thinking that you can see that this indicator is like turning over and rolling over. We could see this thing actually roll over more likely and break down than break up, unfortunately. So with that said, we can see that this thing, if we break down from this this trending upward trend, you can see that that around the $2,200 mark is our target for this breakdown. Unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news and say that what this thing is going to do, unfortunately, but that's the case where we're headed to the $2,200 level, or to 2,175. So we have to like accept that. Now, is there a positive side light in this thing? Is there a light in this tunnel? Let's see. Let's zoom in. I don't see one right now. Honestly, maybe we can go to a higher time frame and see some light, because right now on the 4 hour there is none. There is no sunshine. Absolutely none. Let's head to the daily. Daily, let's see here, the 200 period moving average is being held as resistance. We can see that there is a definite trend here. Let's just see, daily trend heading downwards, and we have to break this trend, this downtrend right here. We can see where we're hitting the tops. We can't hit that top again. We have to like break through it at this point. I'm gonna clear it up, this chart, and you can see that if we break up here, we can maybe head all the way up to the $3,600 level approximately. But yes, this is not looking like a likely scenario. Breaking down right here, we can see that this is the downward trend. We'd have to break further down, probably further down than the $2,700 level to really know that this thing is going to break further down. We talk about that. That's probably the 2609. Then we can say, oh wow, this thing is going further down all the way to the 2200, or possibly the 2200 as a possibility. So we're going to wait and see. We can tell for sure if this is going higher once we break above. Let's see here. Let me switch to the 4 hour, see how that pans out. I would say once we break above, yes, that's right above the 29, well, almost a $3,000 level, we can say, boom, that's a 2980 level, that's a $2,980 level. We can see it break higher all the way to the 3,600. No guarantees from management. Please do your own research and make your own decisions on how to trade that. Okay, so all right, let's head over to the dominance. This is not looking so good on the green. No greens here. It's horrible. The dominance, well, at least it's reversing a little bit. That's always a positive sign. We want this thing to reverse. We want to see the alts have a beautiful alt season. You can see that we're coming closer to an apex here, where this thing has to like do or die, whether it's going to go down and then we're going to see a massive alt season, or we're going to go higher and we're going to see crushing of the alts in the next little while. So let's see here. This thing has to happen sometime before the end of the month. So we're going to see something happen shortly with the alts. So let's see what happens, because right now it's undecisive right now in the market with the alts, with a slight bearish tone to the alts, as you can see with I'm sure a lot of people's portfolios being decimated, but that's okay. If we have a crushing of the alts, that means that you're just gonna have to wait until it's time to pick up some alts on the cheap, because they'll eventually come back around, and we'll just have to wait for that day. Unfortunately, it will probably be a while before that happens, because we have to wait for it's got to come all the way probably back to the 50% level, or even worse. Wow. All the way to the 57, 56%-ish level before we can start saying, okay, let's start hunting some buys. Oh boy, let's not have that happen. We want to see it below the 39% level, not that anything else. But that's just the way the market goes. And if we do have it go to the 57%, that's all right. We'll use the little lady strategy to buy some coins, and we're going to sell half on a double and make some money on. So yes, because we're going to make it in Bitcoin, because we want to ultimately have the most amount of Bitcoin at the end of the day, not the least amount of Bitcoin. So that's where we're at. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for being here. Remember to stay tuned for my news rant. It's going to be lots of fun. I'm going to be, making lots of jokes on that one. All right. Thanks for watching. Cheers.